Hello.
Good day. How's everybody today?
I'm good. How about
They're
you?
not going to answer, Daniel.
Oh, is that right?
They're not going to answer. They might in comment form, but they're not actually going to be audible.
That's YouTube. Nice. Okay. I'm just watching things.
Yeah, don't watch me over
Okay.
here. Pay attention to your customers, everybody.
Well, today we have a great topic for you.
And we are Warm N Cozy Quilting. We are in Columbia, Illinois. I'm Jason.
I'm Danielle.
Hello. You need to introduce yourself for people that don't know us. Not everybody knows us. Did you know that?
Also behind the camera today we have Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're so excited. It's summertime, so she's here.
Yeah, hooray.
You guys will get to see her again.
Woo! Also, if you are new here and you don't know, you are the #1 customer.
That's
Thanks for
who
watching.
you are. That's who you are.
And if you are not new and you've been here and you know that, thanks for saying hi. Yes, you can say hi in the comments. Yes, we'll comment back to you. We'll talk with you. We'll interact. We will be part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Really big show.
The really big show.
Really big show.
Really big show.
So
So we are getting set up for a couple of really cool things.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, this weekend we have our mini retreat.
We do.
And we have now expanded into a second room
Yes.
for mini retreats. So we have we have both rooms full.
Full. Lots of people had it. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be so much fun. So then that really started us thinking about, like, what should you bring, expect, do, things like that when you go on a retreat, right?
Right.
It's kind of fun.
That'd be a fun topic. I think,
Yeah.
going over what you should bring along if you've never been on a retreat. For those of you out there that have done so many,
Oh, I would love to hear
if you're
from
a
you.
professional retreater, if you will, I would love to know what your best, most highest important recommendation is for any retreat. Whether it's mini retreat, whether it's travel, stay away retreat, any of the things, what is the absolute most important thing to do?
So should I tell them now that I have never been on retreat?
Well, you just did. So
I've never been on retreat.
She's
I've
never
never
been on a
gone to a retreat at all.
I've retreated a few times
Mm-hmm.
in horror and scaredness because I made her mad, and so I was retreating to the safety of my cave.
Wrong. You went on a trout fishing retreat with some dudes.
Is that technically a retreat?
I mean, maybe they don't call it retreat when
More
it's
fancy when we go trout fishing.
Trout fishing, but
I
you
went
know,
trout fishing with some people.
you did that one time. You
That
went
was
away
fun.
and did some things, but not that you went and sewed somewhere.
No, I have not.
So you had different gear you had to take to that
I've never
than what
been
you would
to
have to take.
Quilting retreat, per
Right,
se.
me either.
Okay. Anyway, we'll talk about that all here in a little bit. Let's say hi to your friends that are out there. Your
Okay.
#1 customers.
Alrighty.
All right. We have Sandy.
Good morning.
We have Donna. Good morning.
Hi.
And Deborah.
Good
Hello.
morning. Good morning.
We got Julie hanging out there. We got Kathleen. Good morning, Kathleen.
Good morning.
And we got Miss Debbie out there. Hello.
Hello.
And Julie, good to see you. Yes, I think I may have said, she said good morning here, and then she's commenting along with the things to bring.
Oh, things to
for
bring.
Sure.
Positive attitude.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And happiness.
Absolutely.
Bring a whole big pot of happiness.
Yes.
You know, but you can stir.
Stirring the pot.
I don't know.
That'll be a good time. Of
Of happiness, right. Hello, Dolores.
Hello, Mary. Also, remember that we are streaming live Facebook and YouTube. You can watch us on the YouTubes. It's always a lot easier to find our videos over there to rewatch them later on. Also, if you're over there, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, little red button there. It says subscribe. It's great, easy, nice way to just keep in track with us. And
Yeah.
it's free. So we all love free.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, also I like YouTube a bit more than I like Facebook sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes people are just really ugly.
Not like physically speaking, just like in their comments.
I mean,
and
they're
their
not very
behaviors.
nice.
Like,
They're not very nice. I mean, that
it's
kind of
been a
ugly.
rough week
like,
out
not,
there on the Facebooks. Like I had to like
sometimes
step
it's
away
like,
for a
oh
little
my
bit.
gosh, you don't need to say things that are that mean.
You don't take that behavior to a retreat. You leave that at
No.
home.
Do not.
We learned
You'll get
that.
kicked out.
Good morning, Jackie. Hello.
Hi.
Oh man. All right. So before we dive more into that conversation, we got a couple things we want to make sure y'all are aware of. We've talked about them. We'll continue to talk about them until we're past it. Then we won't talk about them anymore. Then we'll talk about
Is that
something
right?
else.
Okay.
This is how it works around here. We have the 210 Club Again, Paintbrush Solids 210s. If you aren't aware of that, it's going to be a monthly subscription thing starting in July. I've got a couple spots left. If you want fat quarters of all 210 Paintbrush Solids, this is a great way to obtain them. In addition to that, you get the paintbrush card, or the color card.
Color card.
Gives you the colors
all 210.
all there.
So when you need to match up to something, you've got it.
Right. It also gets you special pricing on Paintbrush Solids for the duration of the subscription period. So from July to August, you will get special pricing.
To April.
April. I said August.
Whew. From
It's
July
Monday.
of 23 until April of 24, you will get all of your Paintbrush Solids for $7.49
per yard. And if you're not local, that's okay, because we're going to give everybody a special coupon code to use at checkout. You're going to have your own, so you will be able to do it all the time.
Yeah, their regular price is $8.99, so it's a great savings. Anyway.
Right. I think I got you pushed off the screen a little bit.
Oh, you want me to come this way?
Yeah, there we go. You're like,
I also,
usually I'm the one hanging out.
When I look at the thing behind us, I think, I'll think that something is sticking out on this side.
Yeah.
But it's this side. I get all.
How's that even possible? Your hair is always fantastic.
Well, it's still a little bit wet today.
Mine's kind of not fantastic. I need to get a haircut. That's okay.
Yeah, missed the haircut.
Also, to note of being awareness things.
We didn't talk about price on 210, but if you have questions, you just
let
us know.
We get you on that. This coming weekend, not today, the 25th, which is Thursday, 26th, which is Friday, and the 27th, which is Danielle's birthday, but more importantly, Saturday, or strike that, reverse it, Danielle Palooza. Danielle has got a plan for some amazingly priced fabrics. It's some semi-sorta end of bolt. You're going to get, if you find fabric you want in this particular, she's going to have select fabrics. It's not going to be all of them, so you're not going to come in and ransack the solids wall. Sorry.
But there is a couple hundred bolts of fabric.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be plenty of fabric to choose from. 30% off 1 yard cuts of these fabrics.
At least a yard. If you want 2.5,
minimum
you got
1 yard.
Whatever.
Or if you take the whole bolt, the whole thing, everything that's there in front of you, 40% off.
Right.
Basically moving some things out of the building. It's going to be great. We also are going to have special pricing on our floor models, on our Genomes. Some of them have left already.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, we were not going to do anything until that weekend, right?
This has spurred people to come in and get them before everybody else can. So if you need a Genome, if you're looking for a new sewing machine, a domestic, a travel machine, embroidery machine, I have a couple single needles, I have a combination machine, come on in, have a look. If you're looking at the M7, which is a super nice machine.
I got a great deal on my M7.
Full retail value on that bad boy is about $8,000. I'm going to do better than that for you, by the way. Because it's been sitting and needs to go to a new home, so I can get a new one in so it can sit and then send that. Anyway, it's a whole
we
cycle.
just,
That's the whole joy of being a retailer. Anyway, that's going to be this coming weekend. Plus my handy quilters, I have those all sitting out on the floor. I use them all the time. I would love to get them into a new home. Come get a good deal on a machine. It's absolutely the good time to do that. Also, next Saturday, International Mystery Quilt.
That's right.
Show and tell.
So it is May. You will have your May quilt finished by midnight next Saturday.
Yes.
But we will have in-person show and tell for International Mystery Quilt. We will reveal June's pattern.
Yes, we will.
And those who have finished May will get June for free. So if you're new to this and you're not understanding what we're talking about, this is a really great time to jump in on this program. You have to buy the current month's pattern. So maybe you wait till next week and you get June. But you buy June for $10, and then you get that quilt finished by the end of June, and you get July's pattern for free. These are all lap size quilts. It's generally you learned one block and you do it, a bunch of times, and that's that. So it's not anything that's extremely difficult. They make great gifts.
Oh, they're great gifts. They're about 3 yards worth of fabric.
Right.
So if you've ever done a 3-yard quilt, roughly that size, add a border or two, make it a little bigger if you need to.
Exactly. All of them, I think, have optional borders. So.
But that's next weekend. So if you're not doing anything next Saturday morning, come to Warm N Cozy. You have to be here 9:15, I open the doors. You can come in.
Mm-hmm.
You get to your spot in this classroom is where we usually do our recording. At 9:28, I lock the door.
And he's moved that back because it used to be 9:27.
I did. It was 9:28.
Oh, but actually,
I have to give myself time to get back to the studio.
yeah, but next week it will be the 27th. So I think we should lock it at 27.
We'll see how we do when we get there. Let's not be too dramatic.
Anyway, so that we can start the video at 9:30.
Right, because we're still going to be live. We're still going to show off the quilts, but you'll be here in person to see them in person, which makes them so much prettier.
Right.
Every time. Worth doing it.
Yeah,
So.
and then after the video, we do not open until 11.
Right.
But the video's over at 10:30. Anybody who has come for International Mystery Quilt is free to shop.
Yeah, you get to kind of shop
So-
before everybody else gets
And
in,
it'll be
so.
Danielle Palooza.
Right.
I have to tell you, we have made mystery bags of fat quarters.
We may have to make
we're gonna
more
have
of
to
them.
make more because
I'm pretty sure we
I
will.
really think that we should make more.
Yes, Kelly, that was a surprise, though. Now everybody knows.
No. Anyway, so you have to sing the Donald Duck version. You got to look it up. That's my only
Challenge accepted.
only request.
I'm running around with just a shirt on. That's going to be awful. You said Donald Duck, right? That's what he does.
You have to sing the Donald Duck version. I did not say anything about you looking anything like Donald Duck. Yeah, get the little sailor shirt
God
thingy
help us.
with the
Yes.
hat. Anyway,
God help us.
okay.
Messed up. Good night, folks. We'll see you next time.
Gosh darn. I'm trying to have a show here, Jason.
I am
trying to have a show
it's
here.
Fun. It's
Okay.
funsies. I love it. You can blame Kelly for
Anyway.
it. She brought it up. Anyway, so that's next Saturday.
You'll be able to shop before the rest of
It'll
the
be a good
people. There's going to be mystery bags of fat quarters at a great price. Also, I have a picture, a sneak peek of when the bags are being made. I'll post that. I'll post that on Facebook later.
Okay,
later
fancy.
today.
Fancy. All right.
We missed some people,
We
huh?
did. We had a few more people jump on and saying hello. So we have
So-
Joanne.
Good morning.
Good morning, Susan down in Texas. 68 in
Nice.
Texas.
That's beautiful.
It was actually
beautiful.
nice this morning.
I was like, I walked out and went,
Let's do this more often.
oh, nice.
Good morning, Janet. And good morning, Debbie,
Morning,
out in
good
Lake
morning.
Egypt.
Oh.
Nice.
Fishing today.
in.
Fishing.
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah.
I love fishing. We got good morning, Pamela. A little late, but you're doing just fine.
Doing
Thanks
just
for
fine.
sharing. Do appreciate that. Good morning, Ellen. Glad to see you on.
Hi.
Again, Kelly, you ruined the surprise. It's okay, though. We'll see. We'll figure it out. I'm so sorry, Jackie. I really am.
No.
I'll fire myself after the video. It's okay.
Good morning,
It's not.
April. And thank you, Vicky.
Thank you, Vicky. Happy birthday.
A
I'm
little
not,
early.
not singing today, though.
No.
One
next
week.
Yeah.
1 week.
Right.
Oh, man. So,
I always start thinking about things like this because I'm a mom, right? And my mom was probably done being pregnant
okay.
this day. Looking
Oh.
forward to
Yeah.
7 days from now. You know,
Ready for
oh
this
my
to be
gosh, when is
over.
this baby getting here?
Get out.
Oh, yeah. So do I get a whole birthday week?
She does. Don't let her fool you guys. It's usually all month,
Right.
but at least the week before is Danielle's birthday week.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's why we're starting on Thursday. Actually, we're starting Wednesday night. So for those of you not local, we are going to do some special
Right.
stuff on the Wednesday night sale as far as pricing for things, so you can actually participate from your home.
It's like the pre-sale of the,
It's kinda like a
Daniel
pre-sale.
Palooza.
It's such a fun word, palooza. Oh goodness! All right, so that's all the things of the dire importance.
Mhm.
So I do have a question I might want to ask you at the end of the show. So don't run away at the end of this. I want to ask the community while I've got them all here.
Why don't you do it now? And then we can start taking some feedback as we go.
Because I like surprises better.
Yeah, but then you're going to shut down the video.
Yeah. Why are you interfering with my process?
Go ahead.
Stop it.
Who am I? I just get to come hang out here with you.
I'm glad you made it though.
Thanks.
Good morning, Aletha. Nice to see you on. All right. So we've been talking about retreats because we're having a mini retreat here. So there are retreat options out there generally. Sometimes you have to travel pretty far. Sometimes
Right.
you travel locally, but you stay. And there are ones like we're going to do here where it's going to be a stay in your own bed kind
Yes.
of thing. But
Right, because we don't have beds.
I don't have beds
And
here.
you cannot bring your sleeping bag and stay under your table. You know who I'm talking to.
There's actually several of them.
Right.
There's actually several of them that I have to remind them of that. Leave your toothbrush at home. Take
Right.
care of your hygiene there. You are not sleeping in the store.
I mean,
No.
we do have a kitchen and restrooms, but we don't know,
I
like,
really feel like that would be a possible dream for some people to just kind of camp
Like,
out
camp
in a quilt
out.
shop. Like,
in a quilt shop overnight, sleep on the floor. I mean,
maybe. Who?
I don't wanna
None of
do
you
that.
want to
I
sleep
don't wanna
on the
do that.
floor. I don't want
Somebody's
to
gotta-
sleep on the floor. I'm
somebody's gotta help
42
me
and
up.
I don't want to
Yeah.
sleep on the floor.
No. No, thank you. Okay,
Anyway, theory on it sounds great, but reality of it, no.
right.
No. Anyway, but the question is, why would you go on retreat? What is the purpose and the point of a retreat? Why do I want to do such a thing?
Okay,
I can sew in my own house.
right. Also, like, all of my stuff is there. Right?
Everything's
so
there.
everything's there,
So I'm
and
gonna pack
you know,
all this up and
gotta pack
drag
it
it
all
with
up,
me.
right. But the cool thing about going on retreat is, first of all, you meet new people. You go together with friends,
Right.
and so that's kind of fun. You know,
Yeah.
everybody gets together and they're doing their projects. And if you bring your own camper, you can put the pop-up camper on the back parking lot, right? We can't give them any ideas, Pamela. They're
Please
going to do it.
stop.
They're going to do
Please
it.
stop.
I'm
It's been
going to go.
asked. It has
I'm
been
going to
asked.
go out there and people are sleeping in the back of their car. No.
I don't know. I feel like I have to clear that with the property owner.
Right.
Anyway.
So it's fun to get together. Also, if you
Yes.
are just looking to find this is your hobby, but you don't really have a lot of friends who do that.
Right.
Like, because not everyone sews, right?
Not everybody.
So,
No.
if we had somebody who wanted to do like the shop hop, and so she had put it out into Quilters Collective. Hey, anybody else want to do this? Because, like, I don't know anybody else who sews, and the other people that I would have to drag along with me
Yeah.
may be bored and annoyed, you know. So I would rather do it with other people who enjoy this.
Right. It's part
You
of their
know?
fun. They enjoy doing this. It's when you're hanging out with like-minded folks as far as enjoying the same hobby, it makes it even more enjoyable.
Yes.
It's not become a task,
Right.
some drudgery of, I don't want to do this. So it's great for the building community. Whether you're going with friends you already have or you plan on making friends.
Okay, Jackie asked about Zoom retreats. That's an idea. I have not even thought about that.
So I feel like those would have been great at least a couple years ago when people weren't really getting together.
Yeah, but I mean,
still a possibility to do
I
it.
can name 5 people
no,
on
I've
here.
never considered it.
Right.
I'm sorry. Maybe we need to think a little harder on that one.
Yeah.
Good point.
So I used to have second graders sleep over at school the night before the last day. We would all go to breakfast in the cafeteria in our PJs. Like, that is the cutest thing
That
I've
sounds like a
ever
fun time.
heard. Also, like, I mean, that sounds like a lot of work for you, though. Like,
Right.
where's
A bunch of second
everyone?
graders
Did
who's
somebody get up in the
ducking
middle of the
out.
night and,
Right.
run out? Anyway,
Which classroom are they trying to hide?
this is why I can't have quilters. Like, because I would have to be in charge.
They never
No.
really grow up. They still do the same thing,
yeah.
even as grown adults. Who,
Yeah.
Where's she hiding?
You know, there's even things like I have to tell myself, because I just am this way, that I am not in charge of other people. Like,
No.
I have to tell myself that frequently, to go, they're adults, they'll figure out when they are supposed to eat lunch. Like,
Right.
we get our, we get lunch delivered and things like that at a certain time. Anyway,
Nice.
I get really concerned when someone is not eating at an appropriate time. Why do I care? Why? It's not up to me.
Your
Anyway.
mom instinct is way too strong sometimes. April, agreeing with Jackie. Okay, you guys, I may have dropped the ball, but how about we're going to work on this? This is not
That
an
is really cool.
impossibility. I like that idea a lot.
So this is different.
Yes, as she said. Yep.
So there are definitely different kinds of retreats, right?
They are.
And what we have asked and found out from our people is that they just want to be able to come and sew on their projects.
Right.
So we've not put together like, here's a kit and everybody's going to work
Right.
on the same thing. But that is a cool thing to do.
Right. And I was finding that out as I was doing a little more reading
Yeah.
on stuff that is, yes, that happens. People do full on, this is the project
Right.
you're going to
And
work
then,
on. You're going to work on the skill set.
Yeah.
Themed
And-
retreats.
Yeah. So, okay. So we're new at this.
Yeah.
But we're going to get better. So thank you. That's a great idea.
Taking your idea. We're going to do what we
You
can.
take a note over there, Victoria.
Make a note.
What am I making?
Zoom retreats, and we need kits, and we need deliver them, and
Figure it
blah,
out.
blah, blah.
Ready,
Okay?
go. Okay. So, also, so you're building the community. You're having the friends. You're having the funds. You're making friends and having the funds.
Right.
You're working on projects. So
Mhm.
either your specific projects that you're working on, or you have your own. Because let's be honest, life and family, sometimes they want to stop us from having fun and making us do fun family things. No, I'm going to work on my project.
Mhm.
So you're able to do that at a retreat. You can get away and do a thing.
Right. So I tell you right now, like when you're at home, I don't understand how this happens, but like housework calls you. Okay?
Meh.
Because there's laundry. And I really should just go throw that in the dryer real quick. And then it's done. And now it has to be taken care of. And you're sidetracked so many times. If you have a pet, they're going to, like they would have been fine if you were gone. But since you're there, they're not fine.
They're hanging
I don't
out
understand.
on the sewing machine,
Right.
or on your lap.
Right,
Because,
and
you know,
so-
the 90-pound dog wants to be on your lap because
Right.
pay attention to me. Anyway, it's nice to be able to not have to worry about those stresses and needs that need to be happen. Also, inspiration. You are working around other folks, other quilters that do the same thing. They do it a little different. They have a different project they're working on.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, that's an amazing color combination. I'm glad you thought of that. I'm going to steal that idea. Thank you. So it's really nice to be able to get away and be able to do all that. Also, you don't have to travel hours and hours away
Mhm.
to go do these kind of things. Obviously, we can Zoom retreats.
Apparently.
Now, you don't even have to leave.
You don't
your
even have to
house.
leave, right?
Well, that's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is absolutely something to keep mind about as well. Hunting season, Susan, yes,
Mhm.
because
I mean, I'm having a hard time listening to you because everybody's got so many good ideas.
I know that's why we have the comments so they can put them out there. But then we
Right.
can go back to read them later
Okay.
and get some better
All right.
fill up on that. But yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah, so we even do, like Dolores said, you know, you get good tips from other people, right?
yeah,
And it is a really good idea, you know, bringing your project, working on that. When you run into a problem, you have other people that, hey, you know,
right.
what are they trying to say to me here?
What
you
does
know,
this mean
I do
to
not
cut on the
understand.
diagonal bias? What?
I'm working on a pattern right now, and I'm sorry. I'm not going to call out the pattern writer's name, but this pattern is
It was
wrong.
Carl. Who?
No, nobody named Carl wrote this pattern.
Wasn't Carl.
Anyway, there
Dang it,
are
Carl.
so many mistakes.
Oh,
In this
yes,
pattern.
you showed me this. It's a book pattern. It ain't even like a single print, like Ethel made one, printed it out, sent it off to her friends. This was like in print book,
Mhm.
and it is wrong. Like,
There are
wrong.
4. So on the
anyway, but you're hanging around some quilty friends.
and you can go, does this seem right to you?
Am I crazy? I mean, if you're sitting in your room, your sewing room, looking at this, you really can have that struggle of,
Mhm.
Anyway, it's nice. So we have all that. These are the fun reasons why we do retreats,
Mhm.
why you go hang out with other people. Just to get away. It's okay. And if you don't want to, that's fine. You can stay in your own home and do your thing. All right. Let's see here. And you can stay in your PJs. Yes. Yes, Jackie, that is probably the biggest, highest priority. Stay in the PJs. I ain't got to get out in public. I'm on
Mhm.
Zoom.
Right. I have a feeling that there are people in the area,
Mhm.
like who could come,
Yeah.
but would probably do it from home because you know.
Because why? Why pack everything up? It's fine. Just do it from home. Let's see
Oh, it's a very Pamela. It's an older book. It's called Just for Fun, and
here. Didn't sound very fun.
There's a houndstooth pattern, and it's really like as you start laying it out, you go, no, that can't be right. Like it's not like tragically.
It's a tragic.
You're not going to sew it together wrong.
Yeah,
you're going to go. That
mistake.
doesn't make sense. Anyway,
also,
it's called just
there's a good chance that if you went to the website and looked it up, I bet the corrections out there.
There are corrections. I did not look for corrections because that is what you should do always, and I did not. And you know, when you print a book or a pattern in mass production,
yeah,
and then you find out that there's a mistake, it's really hard to pull that back. You know,
right?
So what can you do?
Absolutely. So, all right. So as far as types of retreats we talked about, you got clearly your Zoom ones, you got your overnights, you got your local ones, you got all the different types. Important things to know when you go to these retreats is what you should take along.
Right.
Okay. If it's an overnight one, you need to plan accordingly because you're not going to be in your general homestead.
Right. You won't even for something like what we're doing, you may not be down the street.
Right. Exactly. You could be a bit from your house. So if it's an overnight or even a little bit more of a drive than you expect, make sure you bring the proper clothes. You know, if you're going to be there for a couple days.
And also layers, because guess what? The temperature is not going to be what you want.
That was one of the more important conversational points I had at the bottom.
Oh, really? Yeah.
When it comes to clothes, make sure you have layers. Because we'll just talk about it. Because you're going to have a room with several people.
And they all are different.
All different
Everybody's
temperatures.
Different. Yeah.
And sometimes you don't win the thermostat game. There's only one thermostat.
Right. So it's freezing.
So either have enough layers to keep yourself warm or enough layers that you can, get rid of a couple so that way you're not sweating profusely. By the way.
Right.
So that can't happen.
Bring a block and share a block. We all go home with at least 6 different blocks.
One of those things that
cool.
many retreats or retreats do where you bring blocks and you can do kind of a sherry thing.
Which
is kind of neat.
We are not on our game. We're not on our game. We got people coming this weekend and I didn't do any of these things. It's going to be fun
regardless.
Okay.
Because we're going to be here, so it's even better.
Right.
If it's overnight, make sure you bring your appropriate toiletries. You don't want to be in a cabin in the middle of the woods 2 hours from the nearest town and you forgot your toothbrush. Pack accordingly. Make sure you bring all your medications, your Tylenol, your Advils, your, whatever you need to keep your friends from getting on your nerves.
Yeah, right?
Whatever that may be. Glasses. If you use cheaters because you're trying to thread your machine or you're doing some work and you are 2 hours from anywhere and you don't have your cheaters, that's going to be a frustrating little bit of event. So make sure you have all those packed accordingly. And I also read that some retreat places do not have bedding. They may have beds, but you got to bring your own bedding, your own blankets.
But they would probably tell you all that.
They should tell you, but if it doesn't hurt to always just verify with them just to make sure that you come properly prepared.
Nice.
Super important.
A little fan is a good idea.
A little fan is a brilliant idea.
I have a customer who is in a class, a couple actually, that bring a fan to class. Yeah. And I'm like, I need to find out where they got that fan.
Actually, do you have a USB connection on the back of your machine?
What's that?
Do you have a USB connection? No. I was going to say, because we can get one of those like little handy quilter fans. That's a USB connection.
And just put it right there.
Plug it in and just have it on. Yeah,
because most of the time it's fine, and then it's really not.
Then all of a sudden it's not fine. Yeah, that happens. So those are your important personal items that you want to make sure that you check list that you have. Make sure they get into the suitcase.
Right.
Don't say, oh, I'll grab that on the way out. It's like any trip. Just don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, make yourself a checklist and make sure you get through.
Check it twice.
Yeah, check it.
Naughty, nice, whatever.
No.
You get it.
Yes, we're having a mini retreat here in our shop.
Oh, hi, Bev.
This weekend. Hi. And we've done this before. We've had, about 8 people generally is what we try to keep it to. We opened up to a second room, and that's full also. And now we're just talking about, if you're going to go on retreat, not necessarily here, but an overnight or just stay at home, what you should bring and what you shouldn't bring.
Also, in case you're wondering, this is the third one we've done, and it's been about once a quarter. So I would expect that maybe around the August-ish time frame.
Everyone is going, can we do it every month? And
every month is a lot, but I'm not saying no yet.
Right.
But I'm also not saying yes. But
I also think I just need to hire somebody to be here, and it'll be just fine.
Okay, well, let's go back to the retreating thing
talk
before
about
we start diving into reorganizing the business.
Right.
Anyway, all right. So you've got your personal effects taken care of. Now you need to know that you've got all the appropriate equipment for your event.
Oh my gosh. If you're making a checklist right now, because you're like, this would be a good thing to do while I'm sitting here thinking about it, write on there, power cord.
Well, I actually put, first and foremost, you want to have your sewing machine. If you're a hand piecer and all that, you don't need a sewing machine, cool, whatever. But have a sewing machine. With that, maybe even have a backup. I've actually talked to people who've said that they travel with 2 machines. In case one machine conks out on them, they've got the backup machine just in case.
Wow.
I don't know how often that happens, but if it does, it's not a bad idea. Now that's especially if you're like traveling.
Far.
You know, and you're going to the middle of nowhere.
And I'm going to be there for a whole week.
Right.
And if this one dies on me like it did the last time.
Right. You don't take those chances.
Right.
So, sewing machine. With that, make sure you have your foot pedal. For the love of everything, have your foot pedal.
Yeah.
Make sure you have your bobbins.
Right.
Because you can't sew without a bobbin. Make sure you have your appropriate feet. Your standard foot.
Right.
Your walking foot.
Right. So like for mine, I have like an HP plate that then you put the HP foot on.
Yep.
If I need, and that then makes my into a straight stitch only.
Yep.
So if I need to zigzag over the weekend and all I brought was that, no good.
Yep.
So I would want to make sure that I have my plates and my, I got a whole little box.
She's got a whole little tackle box that goes with her.
Yeah. So and your power cord. Did I say power cord? Power cord.
Haven't gotten there yet.
Why won't you just say power cord?
You want to bring your power cord.
Thank you.
Make sure you bring needles. Bring backup needles. Like if you're all going in with just the needle in your machine, you are a brave soul.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to be at a quilt shop, like if you're here and you can get to some needles.
Yeah.
But don't do that to yourself.
We do have a retreat center up the hill from us.
Yeah.
And so people will come who are on retreat frequently. They come down. And we have had people call. I have a whatever kind of machine. Do you have a power cord for that? I'm like, no, I don't.
I have my brand power cord.
I can, then I'm like, seriously, I feel very bad for this person going, oh my gosh, like
you're so far from your dealer.
Could I rent you a machine for the weekend? I don't even know who you are. There's a lot of things involved. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Like I can sell you a machine if that helps.
Does that help? We went from a $20 cord to a $500 machine.
Right, but what are you going to do? You going to sit there all weekend?
No, you're not. You're going to figure it out.
Right.
Make sure you take your user manuals for your machine. Okay? Now, you may have been using this machine for years and you got it all down pat.
Right.
But let's say something goes wonky, weird, and it's like, I'm not familiar with that situation. It's good to have that user manual.
Yeah, why do I have this error message or whatever?
Take that with you. Have it in your sewing machine bag.
Also, if I could just say, when you put a room full of sewing machines together,
somebody's acting up.
They start acting up.
They're like kids.
They're like, oh, look at this.
Oh, you think you're loud? Watch me.
Yeah. And all this, it happens when we have a class.
Every time.
Somebody has something that doesn't jive, right? Anyway.
Also very important, and April referenced this, extension cords and or power strips. You don't always know what your power situation is going to be wherever you're going. Here, we try to make sure there's power relatively close to every station. Maybe you're sharing a power cord with somebody, possibly of that nature, but it's not always the case.
Right.
So you always want to have that preparedness about you.
Right. Not all retreat centers are necessarily a quilting retreat center that only deals with that. Maybe they have lots of scrapbooking and this and that.
And they do corporate retreats and things like that.
And you don't need power for scrapbooking or for, and we need power at every single station, right?
Right.
So bring in an extension cord.
And honestly, that's not something I ever would have thought of. I think this was some years ago. I was talking to somebody and they said, oh, always take power cords. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I have a power cord. Yeah,
my machine has a power cord. Oh, but
where's your table going to be in reference? Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Your lighting. If you have a light on your machine or you have light that sits on your table, you do not know how much lighting is going to be in that room. Is it going to be well lit? Is it going to be and if you're like
I've read
my sewing room, when you turn the light on, it's like the sun has come.
She used to just bring in all kinds of light fixtures and so she's crowded by lights, trying to get enough light. So I bought some overhead lights that are just, they kind of burn your retinas a little bit. It's kind of
So
fun.
I'm like, so when people come in the first time, I go, okay, I'm going to turn on
Don't
the sunlight.
look up.
Like just be prepared. Anyway, but yes, so if I go to a retreat, I'm going, this ain't enough light.
Right. Right. So using a battery-powered light or something that's small, that's not going to take up a lot of space on your table, but will give you ample lighting at your space is really a good idea.
Because you don't know how much space you have.
Exactly.
Maybe you're sharing an area with someone you
And
don't.
you don't know if if you're working quilting late into the night. Obviously, if you're next to a window, that's great during the day, but at night,
Right,
it's
not so good.
useful.
Right.
Threads. Bring thread. If you don't have thread, you can't sew.
Is that right?
Really, kind of a basic idea. But always bring your threads. Maybe a couple different colors. That way you got choices. Always nice to have. I hate to admit it, but you really probably need to take a seam ripper.
Oh my gosh. When I start my day of sewing, I take the seam ripper out and it goes on the table right here. And what I find is that if my seam ripper's out, I tend to rip less. If I have to go find it, like, now it's usually early in the event. First one, got to take it out, got to go find the ripper. Anyway, so just put the ripper out.
Just leave it next to you, always.
And then that's,
always have your ripper. Pins and clips. If you are a pinner or if you like the clips, make sure
I think this is a whole lot of things that they should just know. Okay.
I feel they should just know this as well. But if you Google search, what do I need for a retreat? You're going to find all these things. A
little tackle box of stuff, right?
And if you've never been to a retreat before, it's good to know what you need to have. So that's why I have them all here. And I don't have to spend a lot of time on any of them. I just need to get
rotary cutter, spare blades. I'm just going to start reading this list to you, okay?
God help me.
It's going to be a long one.
It's going to be a long day. You need your cutting devices. You need your scissors, large and small. You need your rotary cutters. If you have a rotary cutter, make sure you have your spare blades with you.
And a little mat.
Make sure you have a cutting mat. Now, some places have a cutting station set up. You may not need a cutting mat necessarily. You can always call ahead and check. But it doesn't hurt to have a smaller 12 by 18.
We have one of these kind of, like what is this? 24 by 36 cutting table. In the room. And there are 8 people in the room. Yeah. And there's one cutting station.
Right. There's only so much room to cut at.
But everyone has their own table. So there is lots of space for you to do, small cutting. This is actually something that I was talking with somebody about. She was getting ready for coming to our event this weekend. And she's like, I'm getting everything cut out because I do a whole lot better at retreats if I have my project cut. Because when it comes to doing a large amount of cutting, it's hard to do sometimes at a retreat because there may not be 5 different cutting stations and their boards are large enough you could have 2 people on and things like that. Right. So you may then have to wait until someone else is done cutting, and that's a whole situation.
Also, to that end, if you typically prefer to find yourself more comfortable cutting in your own space, having your materials prepped ahead of time, instead of now you're at a table cutting that you're not familiar with, you have your ruler, but now you got somebody kind of crowding you. It can be a little bit frustrating and it could be unfortunate.
Yeah. So this is when mistakes happen for sure, is when you are, trying to do things. Oh, I got to hurry up because somebody else needs a table. You look at the wrong line and you cut at the wrong spot and now you've messed up fabric and, that's
never
no good.
No.
So, and, not everyone has to do that, but I just feel like I make more mistakes cutting when I'm in a group. I can talk and sew all day, but it's not as easy to cut.
Correct. So be mindful of that. With that, make sure you take your rulers. You're going to take a small, medium, large ruler, a straight edge, maybe not your giant stripology ruler necessarily.
So I would take my stripology squared, which only goes up to 12.5, and I would also take my mini, and I'd be good. No matter what I'm doing, I got those 2 rulers, I'd be good. Right. Because I can use the edge as a straight edge. I can do 45-degree angles. I can do all kinds of stuff.
With that. Perfect.
1/8 and quarters and all of it.
Travel iron and ironing mat. So like a wool mat or an alpaca mat. Not a bad idea to have with you. Yep. Again, not everybody's going to have ironing stations set up. We do have ironing stations in our shop for such a thing. But if you've got some small piecing you're working on and you don't like to get up and down, you have a small little travel iron and you got your own little pressing mat, you have that next to you. In conjunction with that, the best thing I've ever seen is these little coffee tray tables, like TV tables.
Yeah.
The folding guys. Bring one of those with you so you can set that next to you. Gives you a little bit more area to work in.
Right.
And you can press your stuff as you go.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to keep up and down to the ironing station if they have one.
Oh, I should have brought this in. One of my favorite things that I use in class a lot is my it's a wool mat on one side and it's a
cutting mat on
the other side. So
Martelli.
then I could my Martelli flippable one.
Yep, flippable.
So I can press and then now I've got to square those up. I flip it over. I had to remember, I just got in the habit of every time I was done using it, flip it back to the wool side because inevitably I would try to iron on the dang cutting part.
You can't do that. You can, but you shouldn't. Don't.
Yeah,
don't
then
do
you
that.
just burn melty.
Things get melty and weird.
Yeah. Not good.
So, April, good point. As far as the charger, I forgot that one on the personal item. Take your phone charger.
Oh my gosh.
There's nothing worse than getting out of the house and you're hours down the road and you think, did I grab my phone charger?
Great.
Then we tell ourselves, it's okay. I have a car charger. I'll just come out and plug it into my car and let it charge out here.
No, it's such a pain in the butt. And by the way, you go to the gas station to buy one and it's going to be like $35.
And it may work for about 2 hours.
Right. It's just.
Maybe. And then all of a sudden it's just like, falls apart.
That's like.
Also, one of the most important ones I've seen that I actually kind of really like the idea of is a small pillow, like a small throw type pillow or a seat cushion. You're not sure what your chair situation is going to be like when you get there. And so Jackie pointed out special chair. Some people bring their own chairs to sit in, which is fine. Most people have no problems with that. Yeah. But you are going to use the seating that's available there.
Right.
You don't know how comfortable that's going to be.
Is it a metal chair? Is it going to be comfortable?
So take a small pillow or a seat cushion with you to be able to sit on something. Also, if you're doing hand piecing and you have this pillow, you can have that on your lap so that your arms aren't like awkwardly held in place so that you can do your work without straining unnecessarily. So super smart. Always have a nice pillow with you just for that kind of case.
And there are definitely things that you need to keep in mind when you're at a retreat. I don't know if you're going to talk about this. Well, okay. I'll just be quiet.
Okay. Lastly, there are other things that you need aside from your general equipment. Projects.
Right.
Notice I said projects with an S. That's pluralized.
Right. Because, first of all, either you're going to get done.
Right.
Or you're going to get tired of this stupid thing.
Oh, this is the worst ever.
Why did I bring this? I want to finish up all those unfinished projects. So I'm going to take this one. It's unfinished for a reason. It's unfinished for a reason. You put it away at some point for some reason, right? Well, bring it, that's fine. But bring a second one.
Or a third or a fourth. Depending on the time frame that you're going to be at your retreat, plan accordingly to have the projects to keep you occupied for that time frame.
Yeah.
Please. You don't want to run out of things to do and sit there. I mean, it's fun to sit and chat with your friends, but bring plenty of projects to work on.
Yeah. I mean,
even if you don't get to all of them, it's okay.
Exactly.
It's better to have
and it is so totally fine to not work on stuff for a while, I'm going to take a break from this. I'm going to sit and drink a cup of coffee and talk with my friends for a little while and then get back to you've got to take some breaks, but you do want to have enough projects that you can work on.
Right. We did talk about layering your clothes, have those available to yourself, a nice cardigan or something to keep yourself warm, or just, be able to adjust accordingly, but also comfortable shoes.
Slip-ons are preferable only because then you can get in and out of them. We have lots of friends who sew barefoot.
Totally fine.
Totally fine. Standing up and walking around barefoot, probably not the best idea. I get concerned about people, and then I'm like, no.
From a business standpoint, I get concerned about people.
They understand everyone in here has pins and needles and blades.
You can't hear a pin drop on carpet.
Right. So you do not want to find that pin with your foot.
So
that ruins your whole dang weekend.
Wear comfy shoes and use them when you're leaving your station.
Right.
Like you're going to get up and walk around, put your shoes on.
Right.
Please.
Also, get up and walk around.
Oh, please,
frequently
yes.
stretch your shoulders out. Do, because you are going to, you don't want to then go away from your retreat where you were supposed to be relaxing and having this great time, and you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do to this shoulder?
This is terrible.
So
right.
like my phone right now is telling me that I need to get up and I need to move around.
Can't do that right now.
Right. But, do those things. Go, yep, you're right. I need to go for a walk here for a little bit. I don't want to be too stiff when I get up later.
Right. Absolutely. So plan that accordingly. We talked about bringing a small tray for your, a little bit of bonus space to work in. Not a terrible idea. Snacks. Bring snacks. Some places provide such things.
Yeah, we have fruit and crackers and things of this nature, drinks and stuff, but not everyone is as cool first, but also I don't drink soda anymore, like at all, really.
Right.
But I used to drink Cherry Coke Zero. That was it.
So much.
Okay, but do you know, like if I go to somewhere for an event, they're not going to have Cherry Coke Zero.
Very specific.
Like that's not going to happen. And so but I was aware of that, and so I always brought my stuff. So if you are I like this particular thing, guess what? We probably don't have it. We're going to get the basic, your Diet Cokes and your whatever, but we're not going to have every little specific thing.
Right, and not everywhere will, so you'll go there and you'll have your snacks with you. That way you got them because, let's be honest, snacks happen. Chocolate, things of the sort.
Right.
Now, tuna surprise is not a snack.
No.
I use that as a reference, segueing into the next point that you wanted to bring up, which I also saw noted. I believe it was either April or Jack, you mentioned it. Things to avoid when you go on retreats. These are just general polite things to do.
Right.
The biggest one
is fragrance.
Fragrances.
Things that
be mindful of this.
Right. And let me tell you what. I understand that you believe that your best press that is lavender scented is the best.
It's
so
awesome.
obviously
it doesn't smell that bad.
Everyone will like it.
Loves it.
Wrong.
No, not true.
There are a lot of people who are sensitive to smells. I am one of those people.
So defeatedly.
I'm sorry, but like, and the thing is that there are some things that I like that are fine. I mean, like I use faultless aerosol starch, and it does not bother me one bit.
No, but it does have a scent to it.
It does bother other people.
So
I have to be mindful of that because I think, oh, well, I'm really sensitive, and if I can handle this, then everyone should.
Right.
No, wrong.
It's not true.
It's because still, then people come in and go, oh man, that starch is, a lot.
Right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I didn't think about those things. Right. So, unscented best press, things that are flatter. Flatter makes 100 different scents, and you love one.
Right.
Not everybody loves that.
Them.
And so unscented things are good.
Even starches, you got to watch for those because the faultless ones, they're not super fragrant. They're not the worst as far as fragrances are concerned, but we bought some from another store nearby that was a different brand.
Oh, right,
and it was super florally. Like
it was a lot.
I was not excited about it. So
and there may be I need to starch your fabric before you come. That might if you're going to do like I do, where you drench it and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Or I have a finishing spray that is it's magic craft spray stuff, whatever. Anyway, I can't think of it right now. That I don't use a lot, but I use some. I would ask my neighbors, because like this isn't going to fill the room smell, but I would ask the people sitting directly near me if it's bothersome to them. And as long as they're okay, and it's not a overpowered scented.
Right.
Started vodka and water as starch, cheap.
Yeah, I mean, potato-based vodka is going to be pretty much same principle. You can use it just the same. Again, I would just always be mindful of those things. If any potential fragrance, as long as it's not going to affect anybody, that's always my biggest concern.
And you are nose blind to your perfume. I promise you. Look, you are nose blind to your perfume.
I make it
your lotion.
A personal point every day before I go out of the house to use at least 3/4 of a bottle of cologne.
Oh, he doesn't. He does not.
I actually have stock in Stetson. I use
No,
so much
he doesn't.
cologne.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Christy has a sensitive to chocolate smell. And
Oh,
it triggers a
no!
migraine. Yep.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
Which is really
Christy.
so
Oh,
and
that's
like
the
there's
worst.
yeah.
I love chocolate.
And you're not
Oh.
ever going to be able to go, okay, we can't have anything. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, but knowing that about someone and
So don't crack open that Hershey's bar and stand next to Christy and talk to her about her day.
exactly, yeah,
Don't
right.
do that to her, please.
Right.
For the love of everything. Be
Yeah.
nice.
Right.
But really, that's probably one of the biggest things is to avoid. Also,
Yeah,
be
so
mindful.
don't bring your hard-boiled egg for your lunch or
Don't do
tuna
that.
sandwich or sardines. I don't know. Like
Some other things to avoid that I do encourage. I shouldn't have to say this. I say it for myself, language, because sometimes I get old school Jason from where I came from, construction field. Just be mindful. Not everybody's into that. You just be aware. Be polite as much as possible.
Watch your mouth.
I think of it as I always talk as if I'm next to my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother would knock me senseless if I were to ever use uncouth language.
Right.
So, but you know, avoid your hot topic argument conversations.
Right. There are retreat centers that have that in their rules. Like no religion or politics. Do not talk about it at retreat.
Right, because we're here to have fun.
If you're in the room and it is your 12 friends that you are with all the time,
right,
that's your prerogative. You
normally have a battle royale just because it's been day 3. I'm tired of y'all. Let's just duke it out, and then we'll be fine for the next event. Right. That's fine. Like I'm not telling you how to live your life.
I'd rather you not fight here.
Don't do that here. They have a parking lot for that. Get outside.
But you know how those things can then be like, oh my gosh, and you know, it's just better. There are things that would definitely upset me if I knew how someone else felt about those things, right? So we just keep that out.
We are quilters. We're here to quilt. That's our goal. That's our topic of conversation. Now, if we want to discuss whether or not we're excited or love cave fabric, that's a conversation we can have. Yeah. We can disagree, sort of, but if you agree with me, we'll be fine. Yeah. That was insanity. Anyway, aside from that, those are the major important things. Don't start smoking in the middle of the area.
Right.
State laws prohibit such things in the building. Anyway.
I would also please
don't drink at the retreats. Generally, that's not always a really good thing.
Well, I mean, and some retreats it depends where you're going and what their rules are, right? So, like usually here, you're not staying here. Like if you're not staying somewhere,
that sounds dangerous.
Then you really shouldn't. I mean, just depending on.
Also, as a business, if you're here and something goes wrong and you take your finger off because you weren't paying attention while you were laughing at what your friend just did, God bless America. Don't do that. No good. Yeah. So those are probably some of the major things to avoid, but really it's all about having fun and hanging out with new people, your friends, enjoying yourself. So go with fun in mind and it'll be just that much better. So that's a lot of what I wanted to talk about today. There's been a lot of suggestions thrown out there as well. I do appreciate you guys commenting along, giving us some feedback on that.
Yeah, see, mostly I have been thinking of a retreat as just like, here's the space, come and sew. You can shop, the store, but like not having a project, having this and that.
I feel like only because you always have so many things you need to work on, like you don't want another project to work on. So for you to go on retreat, it's going to be, I'm going to go work on my stuff.
Yeah, but definitely if we did a Zoom retreat and people wanted to buy a kit and do the thing and this and that, I think that would be awesome.
Thematic. All right, so I'm going to throw this out there while we're on here and before I finish up a few more conversational points. I told you guys I was going to ask you a question. So here's the question. I want your feedback. So there has been conversation of us getting a bus to go down to Paducah next year. Okay.
What?
I know, right?
2024?
2024 Paducah trip. Go along with Warm N Cozy. We're looking at some things. My question would be, would you be willing to go for a one night, like an overnight thing? So leave on Tuesday, go for the Wednesday, and then come back Wednesday evening. Is this something that you guys would be interested in doing? Also, would you pay $3,000 for that? I'm kidding. That was a wrong number.
Oh, Lisa said she'll pay.
Okay,
No,
wow,
I'm just
that's
kidding.
awesome. Way to go.
Lisa, I
She's
know
in
that you
$3,000.
answered before he said the thing about $3,000.
We're working on pricing and all that. We have some things to still iron out as far as things are concerned.
Right,
But
because my original thought would be that we would just go down and back in one day.
right.
But we did that, and it's hard.
It's
you
tough.
do not see everything,
No.
and we could not have signed up for a class.
Which I
There's
didn't
just
realize
so
there were
many
so many classes to be
things that
had.
you could do that we were not able to do because we went there and back.
Right.
We didn't get to go to Hancock's. We have fabric,
I
but
have a store, but it's still
that still
worth
like
visiting is
you
what I
really
understand.
want to go to Hancock's, one
Right.
time in your. So now we're looking at a go down, be able to go to Hancock's, be able to have a full day at the show where we can do classes or free demos or all of the things. So we're looking at hotel space and all of those kind of things and getting this all nailed down. And I'm so excited if Deborah
Right.
would meet us there.
That would be awesome, right? But we're talking.
Are you saying you want to go?
Can I get out of school, Mom?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Victoria, her senior year.
Senior
Oh my
skip
gosh.
day.
Oh my gosh. This is being recorded right now. Someone could
all
know.
in hypothetical possibilities. If you are with the Waterloo School District Administration, this is all a joke.
Right.
But the rest of you, it's not a joke. It's fine.
Right.
But yeah, again, I'm talking about getting a bus. That way nobody's driving down.
Right.
Having a place to stay overnight, maybe like a couple of different fun things. I think it'd be a good time. I just need to know that I could fill up the spots on the bus.
Right.
This is the important part of the conversation. I want to know.
Okay.
So mull that over. Give me your answers in the
And
comment.
believe
Loretta's
me,
excited. Loretta will be there. She'll drive the bus.
If
It's
I
fine.
come, if we get it all figured out and we give you the price and you're like, that's not really in my budget or that time frame doesn't work for me, the Tuesday, Wednesday, I have something going on,
Right.
saying yes, no, whatever here.
You're not committed to
is
anything.
not committing to anything. And
No.
also, by the way, just because you said yes here doesn't mean that I'm going to remember that I was supposed to sign you up first.
Right. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Loretta,
that's
why we're
that's
having
what
this
we're doing.
conversation now, so we can start trying to get that figured out
Because
better.
we've got the bus holds 56 people, which means I need a lot of rooms.
Right.
And so that's being worked on right now.
Right. One more
Get a
thing.
friend.
Get a friend.
It's going to definitely be a friend buddy thing would be the best way to go about
Yes.
that. Side note, different direction.
Mhm.
For those of you out there that are my long arm quilters that have Pro Stitcher,
Mhm.
I did a video earlier this week talking to you about the Pro Stitcher Connect program or update that just came out.
Right.
There are still a lot of questions out there. There's still a lot of misinformation floating around, especially if you're in any of the Facebook groups.
Yeah.
If
There's
you
a lot
aren't
of
sure or
misinformation.
understand what any of it means, please reach out, let me know. Again, Pro Stitcher works on Baby Lock, Handy Quilter, Janome, and King Quilter. If you have any of those and you're just not understanding what it all means and what to do, I absolutely answer it for you. You can always watch that video that I put out there. It is on YouTube channel, it's on the Facebook feed.
Right.
Either way, don't be afraid of it. It's not a horrible thing.
Mhm.
You do not have to buy anything unless you have like a 10-year-old tablet.
Right.
It may need to upgrade.
Right.
But it's not, nothing's required at this point. So if you have questions, please let me know because I have no problem answering for you.
Could we
Let's see
pick
here.
up part way down?
Ooh, well,
That's a good question.
yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. We just stop at houses on the way.
Yeah.
Kinda like a school bus.
Like a school bus.
Roll
yeah.
Ellen standing out there at the end of the road with their backpack on, ready to get on the bus.
That would be awesome,
That
right?
could be
Yeah, but I think
Kinda
there
weird,
is
too,
a like a Sparta area or something where
Like a
I don't
halfway
know.
point?
Yeah, there's got to be a
I
somewhere
think
in
the
between.
halfway point for us is actually more like Marion, Carbondale area.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of more the halfway point. But again, there's a lot of logistical things to look into, but something that we'll see. Like I said, I really wanted to gauge interest pretty early on, which
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a problem to fill the bus. I think it'd be a good time, and I actually kind of am looking forward to it.
Hmm.
But we'll let you know as soon as we get more details worked out for all that stuff. So, all right. With that, I don't have much more else to say today. You got anything else that you need to add? We got to go get the store ready. We open up at 11 o'clock.
You guys ready for Danielle Palooza? It's
That's-
next weekend.
It's next weekend, but you
Starting
can
on
still
Thursday.
see us today.
Yeah, and
We
on
love people coming in.
We would love to see you today also.
And if you want to get in here and look at the machines before the rest of the companies come in and buy them all,
Yeah.
interested parties, let me know. Anyway, I'm done. I'm gonna get out of here. We'll see you in a little while. Yeah.
Bye.
Ready? Bye.